Crash in contact. The jungle moon of Varelia 9 was a green hell. Dense, tangled vegetation stretched endlessly under a sky of two suns. Towering fungi loomed over toxic ferns. Predators moved in silence. And somewhere in that living nightmare, Lieutenant Cara Miles woke up alone. Her ears rang. Blood trickled down her temple. The twisted remains of the Valiants, the multi-species exploratory vessel, smoked in the distance, its hull torn open like a sardine can. She sat up slowly, wincing. Her suit was torn. No rifle, no comms. Just a combat knife strapped to her thigh and the instinctual tick of training taking over. Assess. Prioritize. Act. She took inventory. One broken rib, maybe two. Left ankle tender, not broken. Her breathing, shallow, but steady. Around her, nothing but jungle. She could hear the distant roars of things not listed in any xenobiology brief. No other crew in sight. Cara Miles, United Terran Forces. Still breathing, she muttered. Let's see how long that lasts. Underscore 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 underscore. A kilometer away, a group of aliens huddled beneath the shattered wing of the ship. There were 6 of them, 3 Kavalan scientists, 1 Burlithrax warrior, and 2 Zalari navigators. All were battered, confused, and scared. She's dead, said Dralvin, the Thrax, waving a heavy claw dismissively. No softskin survives this place alone. She was near the aft wing, one of the Zalari offered. We saw it explode on impact. Even if she did survive, another added, humans are poorly equipped for environments like this. Fragile biology. Limited vision. High caloric needs. Stop, said Nerix, the Kavalan biologist, adjusting his translator collar. You underestimate them. I've read the Terran reports. Their survival instincts are unsettling. Dralvin scoffed. Instincts don't matter, hey. This moon eats instincts for breakfast. Underscore 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 underscore. Back in the jungle, Cara moved with purpose. She found a stream, tested the water, filtered it through a bit of cloth and charcoal from her crash-burnt uniform. She chewed a bitter root she recognized from training, analogous to Earth's willow bark. Painkiller. By nightfall, she'd built a makeshift shelter, saplings bent into a linter, camouflaged with broad leaves. Her fire was small, smokeless, controlled. Predators circled in the dark. She heard the rustle of 6-legged beasts, clicking mandibles, low growls in the trees. Cara sharpened a stick into a spear and sat by the fire, breathing slow. Focused. She didn't pray. She didn't panic. She planned. Underscore 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 underscore. In the alien camp, Nerix stayed into the darkness beyond their flickering firelight. Something moved out there, one of the Zalari whispered. No, something watched, said Nerix. Unbeknownst to them, Cara had already passed within 30 meters of their camp, unseen. She'd noted their fire, the noise, the carelessness. She also noted the slope of the land, the wind direction, and the easiest escape routes. They were loud, vulnerable. They wouldn't last long like that. She'd have to last longer. Humanity didn't get this far by being the strongest. It got here by refusing to die. Jungle warfare. The days on Varelia 9 were long, humid, and filled with teeth. Lieutenant Cara Miles didn't just survive, she adapted. Her first priority was elevation. Low ground was death. Mosquitoes the size of a child's fist, burrowing worms, and vines that moved. So she climbed. She found an abandoned glider's husk lodged in a tree canopy, likely jettisoned during the crash, and converted it into a nest-like shelter. By day 3, she was hunting. She braided fibers into snares, set traps with sharp spikes and tripwires. She studied the animals, watched how they moved, what they avoided, what hunted them. She killed her first predator, a scaled quadruped with translucent eyes, by luring it into a pit she'd dug with a salvage plate shard. She ate its meat raw the first night. By the next, she was roasting it on a spit. Underscore 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 underscore. Elsewhere in the jungle, the alien survivors were unraveling. Dralvin the Threx was dead, dragged off screaming by a chitting pack of hive wolves that ignored the group's makeshift defenses. The remaining 5 had retreated into a ravine, backs to a waterfall, visibility limited. "We need help," one of the Zalari whispered. "There's no signal," Nerix replied grimly, tapping his broken communicator. "Nothing's getting out of this atmosphere, and if we move again, we'll be exposed. Then we die here." "No," Nerix said, "we wait and hope someone's looking for us." Underscore 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 underscore. That night, something tripped one of their perimeter alarms. They braced for an attack, but nothing came. In the morning, they found a dead hive wolf outside their line. A crude stake had pierced its chest. The body had been left for them. Narek stared at it, silent. "That wasn't a predator," said one of the Zalari. "That was a message." Underscore 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 underscore. Kara crouched in the trees above, watching. They were making all the wrong choices, setting up camp in vulnerable spots, burning bright fires, rationing food without hunting. They were smart, but not adaptive. Not like her. She left another kill near them the next night. This one gutted, cleaned, and wrapped in palm leaf. She tied a warning above it, a crude glyph sketched in blood, a predator's face with a line through it. She didn't expect thanks. She expected confusion. Maybe or. She got both. Underscore 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 underscore. "They call her the ghost now," Narix told the others, days later. "Something's out there watching us, helping us. It's not one of the locals. It's her," one of the Zalari said. "The human." "But how?" "She was unarmed. Alone." Narix exhaled. "I studied Terran history. Earth's apex species survived ice ages, world wars, and extinction-level events using fire, tools, and willpower. They are not the strongest. They are not the fastest." He looked toward the trees. "They are the most stubborn." Underscore 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 underscore. Kara checked the traps before dawn. 3 kills, 1 still twitching. She hadn't spoken in days. Didn't need to. Every movement, every breath, every sharpened stick was a statement. "I'm still here. I'm not dying. And I'm not letting them die either." She rubbed mud across her face, faded into the foliage, and disappeared like a ghost in the green. Predator becomes legend. The jungle had begun to tell stories. Whispers moved through the trees, not by sound, but by sight. Disturbed foliage where no wind blew, clawed predators skinned and strung from branches like tribal warnings. The aliens didn't believe in spirits, but they were starting to believe in her. The ghost. Cara Miles. Underscore 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 underscore. Nerix crouched near a fresh kill at dawn, its neck broken cleanly, no scorch marks, no plasma residue. Just brutal efficiency. A pile of thorn fruit sat nearby, edible and rare. She's feeding us now, one Zalari whispered, tail twitching. Guiding us. Nerix said nothing. Instead, he examined the trap. It was primitive but clever. Tripwire from plant fiber, trigger rigged with tension from a springy root, sharpened bone-tipped spikes aimed for the throat. This was artistry. This was Warcraft. She wasn't just surviving. She was thriving. Underscore 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 underscore. A day later, they saw her. Just a glimpse. Cara moved through the trees like a shadow, face painted with ash and blood, holding a spear with a curved blade tied to the end. Her expression was calm. Cold. She didn't speak. She just watched from above, then vanished. She's hunting, Nerix murmured, more to himself than anyone else. Underscore 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 underscore. And she was. Cara had found tracks. Something big. Something that stalked her at night. Intelligent enough to avoid traps. Fast enough to vanish before she could catch it. The apex predator of Virelia 9. And tonight, she was going to kill it. She coated her blade with paralytic sap, dug a pit, deeper than usual, with a false floor. She baited it with the still-warm body of a lesser predator and waited, crouched in a blind of leaves. When the beast arrived, it was silent. 10 feet tall at the shoulder, all sinew and muscle, 6 glowing eyes. It stepped forward, and the ground gave way. It roared, but it was too late. Cara leapt from the trees, driving her spear down through its exposed throat with a cry that echoed through the jungle like thunder. Underscore 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 underscore. The aliens heard it. All of them. They stayed into the night, uncertain if they were hearing a death scream or a victory cry. The next morning, the beast's severed head was left outside their camp, blood still steaming. Its jaw had been pried open and filled with thorn fruit. A gift. A warning. Proof. Underscore 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 underscore. Nerix knelt before the head in silence, scanning it with trembling fingers. This thing killed 2 of our people, one Zalari whispered. She killed it, said Nerix. With no armor, no weapons, no tech, just fire and rage. Another Zalari spoke softly. She's not a ghost. Nerix nodded. No, she's something worse. Underscore 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 underscore. High above, Kara sat in her perch, sewing a new sheath for her knife from the beast's hide. She wasn't proud. She wasn't angry. This was just another day. Another reminder that humans don't run. They adapt. They overcome. They dominate. Extraction and reverence. The dropship punched through Varelia 9's atmosphere with a low thunder that made the trees shudder. Kara Miles watched it from a branch 40 feet above the forest floor. Her face was streaked with dried blood, her clothes now stitched from hides and leaves, her original uniform reduced to scraps. The sight of the ship didn't bring relief. Only readiness. Nothing was over until she was off this rock. Underscore 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 underscore. Below, the alien survivors gathered in a clearing, thin, pale, and exhausted. But alive, every one of them. Because she kept them that way. They stood in silence as the retrieval team disembarked, armored figures in pristine exosuits, weapons ready, scanning the jungle. Survivors confirmed, one said. 7 life signs. Wait, correction. 8. Narek stepped forward. She's here, he said. Watching you. She's been watching all of us. A rustle above. A shape dropped from the canopy. Kara landed in a crouch. Her handmade spear slung across her back. Eyes narrowed, movements measured. The soldiers tensed. But she didn't speak. She didn't need to. Narek stepped aside and lowered his head. Lieutenant Miles, a Terran officer called through the static of a comlink. You are cleared for extraction. Good to see you alive. Didn't plan on dying, Kara replied flatly. Underscore 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 underscore. Later, aboard the evac ship, the debriefing room was quiet. Too quiet. A panel of ranking officers, both human and alien, watched the recordings. Footage from recovered drones and black box data showed Kara's path, her kills, her camp, her traps, her transformation from soldier to survivor to legend. She built all this, one Kavalan admiral whispered, without equipment, without support. She didn't just survive, Narek added. She commanded that jungle. We owe her our lives. Azalari nodded. She is not soft. She is not fragile. She is other. The Terran commander leaned forward. This is what humans do, he said quietly. We outlast. We evolve. And if something tries to kill us, we learn how to kill it first. Underscore 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 underscore. Kara sat alone in the medical bay, still refusing painkillers. Her spear leaned against the wall. A patch of beast hide covered the tear in her shoulder. A young alien nurse entered and froze at the sight of her. Yo, the ghost, they whispered in awe. Kara glanced up, unamused. Is it what they're calling me now? They say you moved like wind, that you were death, walking, that you turned the jungle against itself. Kara raised an eyebrow, then gave a faint shrug. I just did what had to be done. Underscore 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 underscore. As the evac ship slipped into orbit, Varelia 9 shrank below them, a ball of green fire and fang. Back in the jungle, the apex predators stalked the trees again. But for a few weeks, they had been prey, because a human had come, and she had shown them that when Earth's children are cornered, they don't break. They fight, they adapt, and they win.